Hello, it's been a while. Yeah, what can I say? I've also fallen off social media as well this last week because I've not been well. And to be honest with you, it's be honest with me. To be honest with you, I felt like the social media thing was just I really felt it affecting my mental well-being while I was ill. And although I'm not, I'm sort of over it, over the worst part now, I don't know. It's made me hate it again. I always struggles. I've always struggled with social media, but I really tried to do the whole social media being present thing for my business, for my work, and I just don't get on with it. Anyway, I'm here because I'm very excited about a recent delivery of a new deck that I got. This is When Olga Speaks. I purchased this through Tarot Grove, who is a new distributor in the UK. I had this deck in my hands maybe about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, but I don't know if that's right. Through a friend had it, and I don't know the story behind it. I know it was on the market, then it was off the market. I know it was on Kickstarter. Maybe she had the Kickstarter edition, I'm not sure, but I loved it then and I missed the boat on it. And so when I saw this come up on Tarot Grove, I was all over that. So I wanted to go through it with you because it's really filled a hole for me as far as Ancestral Oracle decks go. This is created by Sasha Lopez. Yeah, I know that there was a Kickstarter campaign. I know that it happened and then it didn't, or maybe it was just in the UK. We couldn't get it in the UK. I'm not sure, but for whatever reason, I couldn't get my hands on it. So I was very happy to have this come through. Usually, up until this point, I have been using Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle by Abiela Abrams, The Shaman's Oracle by John Matthews. Soul Mirror Oracle is a good one, depending on, the kind of questions you're asking. Margaret Peterson Tarot is a firm favourite for me for anything that is anything that could lead into traumatic experience or grief or anything like that. So Margaret Peterson is a go-to for ancestral wounds, past life wounds, trauma, healing, grief, that sort of thing. So that's a given. The Margaret Peterson, which I love, it's one of my all-time favourite decks. Lachrymose has been on the list, but not massively. I would like to say that I would go to Santa Muerte Tarot for who did that? Santa Muerte by Scarabeo. I think it's Fabiola Strani. I'd like to say that I use that, but it doesn't quite do what I need it to do for ancestral readings. This deck, however, has just opened up doors. I'm going to show you the cards as I speak to you. This, I love. It took me a while, to be fair. I love the collage decks that are on the market right now. The Ritual Tarot is one that I love, but will probably never get my hands on because it's so expensive by the time it comes to the UK. And I've been wanting that deck for ages, but I do look at it and think possibly that the visual style, although it's collage, although it's done brilliantly, beautifully, I do wonder if I would find it overwhelming. And I have found that in the past with certain collage decks. This, on the other hand, is not. It's just got enough layering in it to make you consider different connections, avenues, journeys, conversations, you know, it's triggering enough. When I say triggering, I mean it triggers unconscious archives, right? So it's accessible enough for you to explore internal references and archives. It triggers those connections, is what I'm trying to say. But I fell in love with this instantly when I realized just the diversity of the deck, the possibilities it opens up for conversation, and different explorations that could possibly be had with the ancestors. I really feel like it lends itself. I've been working to it for the past couple of days, and already I am head over heels with it. It really lends itself well as a voice of the ancestors, and I genuinely think this is if I've ever come across a deck that I thought was divinely worked on, explored through divine insight, this is it. This is one of those. You'll notice that each of the you'll notice that each of the borders and the name at the bottom have different, well, not each of them, but there are different colors in the deck, and that's because they relate to different themes, collections. I'm going to read you them now. The beige ones, which I believe this is one, relate to the collection of the Elder. The Seeker is blue. The Strategist is orange. The Ally is pink. The Teacher is purple. The Protector is red. The Healing Child is yellow. And the Storyteller is green. I love how there is, I mean, collage to some extent is always going to bring this degree of intentional disparity between the visual narratives that are being presented, and I think that's what's really drawing me towards it. At first, you know, when I say at first, a few years back, I didn't like that. I liked things to be neat and detailed and true, and the older I get, the more I'm over that, the less I want that, and the more I'm sort of being drawn towards abstract narratives and allowing my mind to really go off on deep dives into considerations, possibilities, and new lines of thinking. And there seems to be just enough disparity. This is probably not the greatest card to emphasize this point. This is actually quite, the collage is sympathetic to each other in that, supportive. I suppose there was one earlier, things like this. You can see the intention. There's one here, I think it's the Tend card. Let me see if I can shuffle through. I think I've probably already gone past it. Pretty sure I've already gone past it. The Tend card came up for me a few times already. And in the imagery, it speaks of, sorry, this is always going to be the case, isn't it? It's in the last place you look. Of course it is, because why would you keep looking? Maybe I haven't gone through it. Yeah, the Tend card has got two different sorts of narratives going on with it. It's got a lady tending to the hair of another lady, and then it's got someone in the background tending to the house. So it has that, you know, bridge between people and environments. It's not just one or the other. It gives you those triggers to explore where you stand in the picture. And I think that's another part of this collage aspect. Here we go. Collage aspect for me is that, you know, when there are multiple different people doing an action, in the middle of an action, it's, you get to decide where you are in that, where your ancestors are in that, how it relates to them, how it relates to you, right? Which is always something that I struggled with in the tarot, was relating to the court cards. I think that's a common thing. I'm aware that that's a common thing. But relating to the court cards, because they never seemed to be doing much. I need to see action. I think it's more relatable. I've always liked candid photography of poses and things as well, because it's more relatable, you know, we can put ourselves in that position. I am at the beginning. I say at the beginning, I've been thinking about various tarot oracle deck possibilities for myself, and I have been pondering them, writing them, you know, taking notes, keeping notes, and really exploring it in my journaling, but not in any other aspect. So I'm at the very beginning of starting to put together my own deck, and I have been considering collage. My only problem is, although I have, you know, my background is in design and I have artistic experience, collage is not an experience I have, you know, at all. It's not something that I have ever played with, and it's a little bit like abstract art. You know, I could paint something realistic, but I couldn't paint anything abstract, and I really have been trying to get out of that. I've been using like oil pastels, really thick, gloopy oil pastels, and using really chunky paintbrushes to like force me to zoom out a bit, because I do go really, I get really myopic, really absorbed in detail really quickly. And I've been, so I wonder how well I would do with collage. I love it. And also the other thing is, when there's people out there doing it like this, I mean, I just don't feel like I could do it justice. I could do calligraphy until the cows came home, you know, not just brush pen. I could do traditional calligraphy until the cows came home, but I don't think anyone wants a deck with just writing on it. I did make a calligraphy deck for Lenormand. I literally just wrote the words of what they were, because, you know, a key is a key is a key, right? I also considered lino printing, lino cutting. I am a big print fan. I have my own print studio up until a couple of years back, and so I have experience in like letterpressing and lino cutting and monoprints and things like that, but, which you'll know if you go on my website, you'll see some of them, but this, for me, this is just next level. I absolutely adore this. But the thing that really blew my mind with this one is that it's got so many possibilities. It really, as I said, it really does. I do feel like it's filled a hole for me in my own practice, and this is becoming a very firm favourite for ancestral veneration and connection. The cave you fear to enter. This reminds me of a ritual tarot card. The other thing I was going to say is that this sort of reminds me, this deck reminds me of the Archetypes Oracle by Kim Kranz. Sorry. In the way that, you know, when you go into the book that supports that deck, it's got explore deeper, go further, you know, consider this, consider that around the edges. I feel like this deck does that with the imagery. I mean, personal experiences, personal feelings. I have found that this deck does that. I feel like it's got a, how about going down that road? I also absolutely adore the use of colour. The use of colour in this deck is very intentional. And really supportive of intuitive reads. Surrender. See this, when I was talking about the disparity between the visual layerings, this is what I mean. There are many different ways, different perspectives as well. That looks like a, I need my glasses and I don't have them. That looks like a bird's eye view of some sort of, oh, it's actually upside down. Yeah, it looks like a bird's eye view of this top bit of like a junkyard, or a what do they call them, like, oh, what do they call them, not scrap, but like salvage, like a salvage yard. But that's so, I love the fact that there's different perspectives in it as well. It's just really well done. I'm gushing. I feel like I'm gushing. Take from this what you will, but see, the colours in this would just prompt all those colour associations, right? This is like a little bit of a, this reminds me a little bit of Ethel Colquhoun, her Tarot of Colour, or Tarot as Colour. It's also diverse, which is a win-win. God, that hair, I'd love to do that. That is incredible. Celebrate. Which is an interesting, that red, isn't that an interesting background? Should we look? We'll look this one up. We'll read one. Celebrate. Ah, so there is one comment. It's a really snicky, you know, comment. I'm going to add a post-it note in the front of the book that comes with it. I'm going to add a post-it note and put in an index. I know that they are, see, oh, I'm looking at the wrong, sorry, looking at the wrong section. I was looking at red, but it's not, it's actually a yellow. No, not yellow. Oh yeah, yellow. I'm right here. Okay. Do not go through life joyously, living life uncelebrated. Find excuses to celebrate the small things, the big things, and everything in between. You will overcome many challenges, you will be met with many defeats, and we will face many choices. Do not fall under the illusion that life is meant to be serious the whole way. While nobody truly knows the meaning of life, what we can say for certain is that it's meant to be enjoyed, that love should be shared, and that celebration should happen. Before you know it, the years have passed. Keywords: choose joy, acknowledge the wins, unbirthday party, light-hearted. Have you ever attended unbirthday party? It's a party held for celebrating life itself, and it's held on a day that has no specific significance. You can always choose to celebrate. Throw yourself an unbirthday party and invite your friends. Have food and cake and be merry. So this red then, in this situation, I would read this red, because red is associated with like Mars, action, active, fiery, all go, all in energy. And I suppose that's what this is about. It's about jumping in with both feet and really, really going for that celebration, celebratory, being really active in that role of celebration. And that beautiful yellow here as well. I can't gush enough over this deck. I'm in love with it. It's really beautiful quality as well. It's I don't know, it's like a satin finish. It's really, really beautiful quality. And if you're considering it for ancestral practice, I think it could be used for energetic connection in whatever way that comes up. Energetic connection between you and another, between people, family dynamics, possibly like the attention that is required. This could definitely be used as a clarifying element as well for energetic connection readings. But for me, this is filling the void that used to come with ancestral veneration. I typically always start with coins for my ancestral readings, and then once I know what the situation is and I've got a rough I've got a path laid out from yes, no, maybe, possibly not, you know, that sort of vibe, then I will move on to tarot. And I will pull oracle cards like the Shaman's Oracle. The Shaman's Oracle I love, but it's not right for ancestral practice. You can do it through ancestral. It works, but it's just not, you know. This is the one. This is the one, peeps. I'm really, really happy with this. I did also get another deck through, which I'm exploring, and I will possibly do another video for. But yeah, for now, I hope you like the When Olga Speaks deck. And go and, if you're in the UK, go and have a look at Tarot Grove as well. She's worked really hard to get where she is, doing what she's doing, and she's got an absolutely incredible collection going of decks right now. So yeah, lots of love to you all. Lots of love to Sasha Lopez. Lots of love to Tarot Grove. See you soon.